Welcome back, sixth graders. Today we're going to be learning about our new chapter, Immigrants, Labor, and Cities. Do you remember what an immigrant is? Somebody who moves from another country. Who were immigrants who moved to Minnesota in the late 1800s? Well, they came from northern, eastern, and southern Europe, Norway, Sweden, Poland, Italy, Ireland, Germany. Why did they come at this time? Well, a major reason was to find a job. It was difficult to acquire land in Europe, and some people were fleeing wars, others were fleeing famine or other hard times. Many immigrants moved to large cities because most farmland was already taken in Minnesota. Well, how much did these jobs pay per day in 1900? And compare that to how much money per day is that in 2020. If you remember that inflation calculator we used a few chapters back, I used this to calculate the amount of money they made then and how it would compare to today. So compare the pay of these jobs: blacksmith, flour miller, miner, dresser, school teacher, lumberjack. Any guess how many or how much these jobs paid per day? Which was the lowest, which was the highest? Which one do you think was the lowest, which was the highest? Well, let's start with lumberjack. This was the lowest, 56 cents per day, which equates to $17.25 a day now. A miner made $1.65 per day, or $50.81 in today's money. Dressmakers made $2 a day, $61.59 in today's money. A blacksmith, $2.43 per day, that's $74.83 per day today. School teacher, $2.50 per day, which is now $76.99 a day. A flour miller made $3.80 per day. That's equivalent to $117.02 per day today. So that would range between a $12 and $15 an hour in today's time. Now, you could make more money starting a successful business, but you needed money and you needed training, but most immigrants had neither. Often whole families worked, men, women, and children. Pictured here are children, factory workers, and nurses. Many found jobs in flour and woolen mills and other factory jobs. Duluth attracted many immigrants and businesses too. And Duluth was considered a boom town where they grew in these spurts. They would grow and then it would kind of crash for a while, then it would grow again. Now, immigrants formed communities within their own nationality. So people from Slovakia lived in one neighborhood, people from Finland lived in another neighborhood, and so on. So people from Slovakia moved to Bohemian Flats in Minneapolis. This is by the Mississippi River, sometimes prone to flooding. So if you wanted to get to school on time, sometimes you had to take your boat. People from Finland moved to Minnesota's Iron Range to work in the iron mines. And a mine might look like this. If it's above ground, here's a steam shovel, or you're working in an underground mine. Underground mining could be dangerous. It had long hours, low pay, falling rocks could crush people, dust was hazardous. If injured, you're fired, or if you complained, you could be fired or bullied by your boss. As a result of these conditions, miners worked to form labor unions, which in some ways were like the Grange for farmers. Labor unions worked together to improve working conditions and pay. Now, if the company didn't work with the union, miners might strike or stop working till the mining company negotiated better terms, but it took decades for labor unions to achieve their goals. Some of the issues that they wanted were to have an 8-hour workday and work only 5 days a week, because at the time they were working 10 to 14 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. Another problem was children as young as 12 were working. They wanted to end that. They wanted to have a minimum wage. They wanted companies to have responsibility over workers' safety. They wanted paid sick time and vacation. And then if workers got injured, they wanted the company to be able to pay for that. And another thing we'll learn about is immigrants then became citizens of the United States. And then there was a process they had to go through called naturalization. They must have lived in the USA for 5 years. They have to pass a written exam in English and civics and pass a citizenship exam. And when a parent passes the citizenship exam,